everyone. This is kind of an introduction to the project that we're going to work on. And so, when you're modeling, you want to do lots and lots and lots of research before you even get started. You want to get an impression of what the product that you're going to be modeling. And so normally I like to go out with my own camera and visit sites and look at what I'm going to be modeling, really touch it. In this case, you can actually smell it. Um, but I always do tons and tons of stuff, especially if the internet, it just takes like 15 minutes to go through into a Google search. And so that's basically what I did. I went through and found different garbage cans from different areas of the US and even international, like Japan has like some really cool ones. There's some funny ones too here that were on Pinterest, I think. But again, I'm looking at details, looking at the rusting on the inside of this, where the garbage sits up and gets rusting, the outside where the rain is doing, and also identification from the company. Warning signs. There's some really alarming warning signs from ones. Graffiti, Barbie Dream Dumpster. I thought that was funny. Um, no poop. That's a recycling bin. I thought that was funny. But again, look at where all the rust is. So this is more of looking at textures. Again, this project is all about substance. Basically showing you how you can make a very, very simple model and get away with murder with normal maps and a little bit of ZBrush. All right, again, this is a clean one, but you can see with the wear and tear from the forklift of the truck. This is actually a whole Pinterest series of people actually model these. This is like a little hand model, probably 12 inches or something like that. But again, when you get into cooler neighborhoods, it could be some cool graffiti on top of this, and you can see some really good ooze coming out of that one. Super clean one. Different type of identification for that company. I'm not trying to promote that company. Leaves. How this stuff sits in nature. This one's a little bit different. This one has wheels on it, so you can wheel it around. Again, not trying to promote anything here, but you can see where stuff is rusting. Basically, where the metal has been rubbed and banged and so forth. These are great, this awesome piece of furniture here. I mean, I would love to have that in my house, right? Um, Different types of dumpsters, a little bit about how big they are, different types, and so forth. This is my favorite, just lovely. Um, and they're different. You can tell like this one is for maybe industry because this is a lot of plaster repair, so you can see the dust from maybe a construction versus household garbage or apartment garbage. All right, so this is probably apartment because they can roll it. So each one has a different history. You can definitely tell this is in the U.S. versus maybe in Africa or Tokyo or Japan or and so forth. Each one is different. So you can see all these micro dents. This is stuff I love to look at and research. All right. So they don't go far. They don't like really fall apart or break down. These are, the companies try to take these and repaint them every 2 years. So you're going to see some beautiful patina. Let's call it patina. And so yesterday, around 7 o'clock, I went over, I think this is behind elementary school, and you can see this is a pretty well worn one. You can see the top here is quite fatigued. The side view, some good bumping, some good textures. And so this is where you go on a site and really investigate. Now this is probably private property. I think it's state property, but again, be aware of that. Someone can come out to say I'm just taking photos, but when you do look at stuff, take photos and probably jet. But if it's on your own property or if it's open property, really investigate, like touch the surface of this, even though it's dirty, wash your hands afterwards, but really investigate. Look at all that bubbling, and you can see that where they've painted over and over, and stuff is starting to uh, create some really unusual textures. This is so important to look at. So, uh, especially when we get into Substance Painter. So look at that. I mean, this has been sandblasted. This is where rust was, and then they painted over it. So it's getting this really cool patina. Look at that. I mean, that is gorgeous. So this is the stuff we're going to get into Substance, where how that light interacts with these different layers. All right. So I know you're like, this dumpster idea is a stupid idea, but this is going to be some really basics of investigating textures. Textures tell a story, and it tells the history of that object. And so I really want you guys to be aware of that. You're after this class, you're going to be walking around looking at every surface and really hyper aware of grit, dirt, and grime. If you ever look into a game engine or your favorite games, this is what makes it look beautiful, is all those little details of grime and dirt. It really sells it and makes it look real. We don't want a real beautiful slick world. There's nothing um, aesthetically pleasing about that. And when you're on a site, take thousands of photos. They're free. You can delete them later. You can put them up on a Google Drive. Who cares? So get all those details, like stuff like this. This is stuff we're going to put in Substance. So we're going to actually show you how to get this prepped for in Photoshop, and then apply this in Substance. Okay. Just take as many photos as possible. These are great. I love the welding marks here. All right. Again, welding marks. This is the stuff that we're going to get into ZBrush and do a little bit of this welding instead of Substance. All right, so I'm going to stop it there. I am going to show you just a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing today. So this may spill over to Monday, not Monday, but Tuesday, and maybe even some weekend homework if you're really behind. All right, so this is basically the model, and we're showing you how to get these prepped, how to put those images that you saw earlier into Photoshop and prepping it, and also how to put this into the scene and be able to lock these away so that you can model. All right, so right now this is around 1500-ish polygons, quite light, and so we'll develop a series of maybe 8K, maybe 4K images or textures for this. So when we put it into either Maya for rendering or in Unreal or Unity, that these will look amazing. We'll get a hyper realistic looking dumpster. All right, I've got 3 more videos after this, and it breaks it down. First one is the Photoshop, and then the second one is getting this Photoshop one into Maya, and then the third one is like the final model build. All right, guys, good luck. And again, really start looking at textures when you're walking around. Okay, and then again, that's part of your homework, is those taking photos all the time. All right, good luck.